With E3 right around the corner, I wanted to get out my predictions for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC Fighter Pass. I'm a huge Smash fan, and the hype train is at full speed, so I thought it would be a perfect time to discuss Smash. I'm going to separate this video into 3 parts: characters I think that are likely, characters I think are possible, and wildcard characters who don't stand a chance but I would love to see anyway. Also, I will give myself some restrictions for what characters I pick. They must be third party, since the Fighter Pass is shaping up to be only third party characters, and similarly no spirit characters. I will also be considering the Mii costume theory for many of these characters, but it's not a steadfast rule. With that being said, let's get smashing. First for the likely characters is Erdrick from Dragon Quest. There is tons of evidence pointing towards a Dragon Quest character, and of that series, Erdrick is the most iconic. I personally wouldn't mind Erdrick, despite the woes of the general Smash community. I like Dragon Ball Z and Akira Toriyama's art style, and I feel Dragon Quest is a deserving series to get a fighter. He is a sword character, but I doubt that's all he will be. All of the new fighters in Ultimate are unique and reflective of their series, and Erdrick would be no different. The next few likely characters stem from the Mii costume theory. If you want to know more about the Mii costume theory, I'll link a video in the description. I wanted to include a Bandai Namco rep and a Capcom rep, and looking at the options, I felt that Phoenix Wright and Leon Kennedy from Capcom and Heihachi and Lloyd Irving from Bandai were the best picks, one from each company of course. I personally would go with Phoenix and Lloyd, as I find them to be the most unique and interesting of the options. I've never been attached to Tekken, and I worry that a Resident Evil character would struggle finding an interesting moveset. Keep in mind that these characters' biggest piece of evidence is the Mii costume theory, which hasn't been proven yet. However, it hasn't been disproven either. Next up are my Microsoft picks. I have a strong feeling that Microsoft will get a character, due to the growing relations between Microsoft and Nintendo. The real question lies in who will represent the company, Steve from Minecraft or Banjo and Kazooie. For me, Banjo is the more likely of the two, especially since there is heavy evidence that Banjo is getting a revival soon, which would bring him to a larger audience, boosting the Fighter Pass sales as well. Banjo is also a favorite of mine. I find his design to be genius, and his games look like a delight to play. I never had the chance to play Banjo and Kazooie, so a revival would be absolutely incredible for me. 2019 is the year of Banjo, mark my words. Steve, on the other hand, is a very close character for me. Although Banjo is more likely, I would prefer Steve. I've been playing Minecraft since it came out, and I've been watching Steve since the ballot. I just never thought he would have a chance. But now he is one of the more likely characters to get in, which is very exciting. Whoever gets in, Banjo or Steve, I'll be very happy. On to the possible but not guaranteed characters. I will go a bit faster since there are more here, and I have less to say about each. I think Master Chief is in the 3rd place in the Microsoft race. I would love a Halo rep, but when facing off against Banjo and Steve, it's hard to justify a character who has no Nintendo presence. Yet. Ubisoft is a third party I have conflicted feelings about. They are close with Nintendo and have even put a Rayman spirit in the game. But that's just the thing. Their best shot at playable was Rayman, and with him being very unlikely due to spirits, the next most likely is an Assassin's Creed character. While someone like Ezio would be interesting in Smash, he would fill too similar a role to Joker. The odds are stacked against Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed, but there is still a chance. Personally, I wouldn't care either way. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. But seriously, Dante would be a cool and unique fighter from a classic series, and also has the benefit of being owned by Capcom. Personally, I just don't see him as likely as Phoenix Wright or Leon. I would want Dante more than Leon, since I think his moveset and design are much more intriguing, but with the lack of Devil May Cry games on Nintendo consoles, compared to Phoenix Wright and Resident Evil, Dante might just have to sit this one out. The Monster Hunter fills another Capcom slot, but it is in the same boat as Dante. However, the Monster Hunter has an even worse shot, having no central character and no clearly recognizable design. I personally would not want the Monster Hunter, with there being far more interesting Capcom routes. However, Monster Hunter is a huge series in the West and the East, so who knows? Sora from Kingdom Hearts has one of the largest support bases in Smash, and has been requested since pretty much forever. I don't really like Sora. I find his design a bit bland, and I have no connection to Kingdom Hearts. I'm also not a fan of the Disney twist on Kingdom Hearts, and would rather keep Smash purely video game based. I would much prefer a Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy rep. I won't deny that he has a chance though. I'm putting Crash and Spyro together since they share many similar pieces of evidence and are both PlayStation icons. I would love these two, but I personally would prefer Crash. I played Crash much more as a kid than Spyro, and he would reach a wider audience in the East compared to Spyro. I think these characters' lack of popularity in the East is mainly what holds them back. I don't know much about 2B or Nier, so I won't say much, but 2B has an interesting design and I could see her being a pretty cool and unique fighter. This character doesn't have much going for them except buzz in the speculation community, so I won't bet on 2B. I wanted to include them though, just in case. Professor Layton's biggest hurdle is Phoenix Wright. If Phoenix is deconfirmed, then Layton has a shot. I would love both these guys, so I'm happy either way. Chrono from Chrono Trigger is only possible because of the Mii costume theory, and even then, he has to beat out tons of other Square reps who are far more well known than Chrono. Personally, Chrono is my number one Square character. He has an awesome design and fills the Akira Toriyama niche like Erdrick. But again, Erdrick is his biggest obstacle, and that is one big hurdle to jump. Amaterasu from Okami is just a cool cat. Dog, wolf, goddess. Anyway, Ami is awesome and is more than deserving for Smash, but suffers the same company woes as Chrono and so many others. Ami is still my personal favorite for Capcom though. Mortal Kombat is a tricky one. Uber violent, yet a staple of the 4th generation of consoles. Out of so many iconic characters, Scorpion seems the most fitting for Smash. But Sub-Zero is pretty much a palette swap, so maybe he could work too. However, the fact that Mortal Kombat 11 is not being sold in Japan is a massive point against the ninjas, and the general violent nature of Mortal Kombat is troublesome. Still, there is a good shot for Mortal Kombat in Smash with Mortal Kombat 11 on Switch and significant community support. Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is the last iconic NES-era game to not have any representation in Smash, maybe besides Battletoads or Cheetahman. But he really only is being talked about because of a very specific 5-chan leak, so the odds are stacked against him. I personally wouldn't want Ryu since a generic ninja would be better suited to Scorpion. Bethesda is the second most likely Western company to get a rep next to Microsoft. They have collaborated with Nintendo many times recently, specifically with Skyrim being one of the biggest games on the Switch in the first year of its release. Skyrim is also a gaming juggernaut, with a huge audience that Smash would love to appeal to. The Dragonborn does suffer from identity and recognizability, since people know Skyrim not for the main character, but for the world. Still, Bethesda has a real shot at the character, and their boy is definitely for sure 100% a definite. Doomslayer. Hands down, Doomslayer is one of my most wanted characters. He would be a retro and modern rep, and would be the perfect character for the first-person shooter genre, which has no representation in Smash. Doom is the godfather of the shooter, and now with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, has entered into the new generation of gaming with fire and fury. I want Doomslayer so bad I almost put him in likely, but I can't ignore the fact that Doom is extremely violent and would risk bumping up Smash's rating. Still, Doomslayer might just rip apart the competition. Tracer from Overwatch. I said these were going to be long shots. I just have a weird gut feeling Blizzard might maybe get a rep. Plus, Tracer would have a cool moveset. Travis Touchdown is cool and has a cool sword. Cuphead will not happen, but he works so well in Smash that I would love to see him. Hollow Knight is similar to Cuphead as an indie character who would translate really well into Smash. Scout is the easiest character from TF2 to implement into Smash. It's just that Valve is very unlikely to get a rep. Gordon Freeman is a super interesting character. It's just that Valve in Half-Life is not as prevalent in the East. I would love Half-Life in Smash though, as unlikely as it is. Connor from Detroit Become Human. This is the most unlikely, but man would it be cool if the Smash team could manage to make Connor work. Overall, my final roster is as follows: Joker, Banjo, Erdrick, Phoenix Wright, and Lloyd. Come back in a year and see how right or wrong I am.
Here comes the money.
Here
we go. Money talk.
Final prediction.
Here comes the money.
Lego Yoda.